There are so many cobwebs, like my wife's womb.
You're not the first one to say that, Jorge.
There's no time to argue. Throw me the Built Bars. You have no choice. Hurry! You stupid fuck. He's mine now.
Oh no, Dr. Jones! The competing bar is literal poison!
That's putting it mildly.
He's going to for days.
Delicious sip, but just the right temperature too, because every now and then
Good.
my headphone volume. I was just talking with Dave as we were watching that intro.
Yeah.
If I happened to be running from a boulder and there was a face level spider web, that's just it, and I'd be run over by the boulder.
John, you just turn around at the jungle. You're like, that's I see webs from here.
I'd go in
I'm
just
good.
once with a machete and then throw it.
Yeah.
And be immediately eaten by snakes.
It's better than spiders getting you.
You know what's funny? By the way, this is before I get to and have that admonish button ready today because I have something I need to admonish myself for.
All right.
Not afraid of snakes. Water snakes scare the hell out of me.
Really? Yeah, because they don't belong there.
They don't belong there.
You're not a fish. You're a snake.
And they swim like this with the head up.
Yeah.
It's like I don't understand. You're supposed to be horizontal. Pick a lane.
Yeah, that's Loch Ness Monster stuff. I don't care for it.
Exactly. So I don't know. I don't know what they are. Copperheads, water moccasins. You guys can let me know. But the point is, I would be fine if we just eliminated every last one. Today, we are going to be talking about Mitt Romney is a piece of human fecal matter. And before anything else, admonish me right now. Admonish me. Admonish me. Admonish me. I deserve it. Because I voted for that asshole.
What?
Yeah. What? Against Barack Obama?
Maybe you need a
That's, I guess,
better one. Here, I'll do it twice.
We really messed that one up.
Yeah.
we were so wrong.
But so did the Hodge twins. It was the only choice at that
I
point.
did
Come
too,
on,
I
him
know.
or Barack Obama. Ugh, talk about holding your nose.
Had to do it for a while.
So my question to you is Mitt Romney the worst Republican? Is he the worst Republican? That's it. And if not him, who is? And if he's not just the worst overall politician, I don't know. Maybe AOC, but he's just as bad.
Yeah.
Because at least I know where I'm standing with AOC. I mean, I don't know where she's looking, but I know where I'm standing.
Yes.
She's smiling at me. There's two of me. With Mitt Romney, he's never there's never been a single issue on which he hasn't held two positions. So we'll talk about that. Also, I don't know if you know this, but in Florida, they are actually trying to. We were told they weren't trying to sexualize your kids.
Yeah.
And then teachers started quitting en masse because they can no longer sexualize your kids. So you do the math. But before we move on to any of that, look, if we are not doing a show, if you don't see us here on YouTube, especially when we're discussing, the pedophilia stuff, which is a thing, YouTube doesn't like it, though. You can always go over to Rumble. So Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern, we are streaming live. Rumble or Mug Club, we have another hour show today where we are doing a Reddit review of this amazing thread.
It's going to be a classic.
Of a man whose transgender girlfriend is taking birth control.
Or wants to.
Yeah. There's a dear Abby.
Oh, boy. Yes.
There's a lot of real questions to be asked here.
Abby, back in the day, would have responded, gross.
Yeah.
Ew.
You just hear a gunshot. You're like, is this off the air now?
Yeah. All right. So before we move on to any of that, Gerald A., how are you, sir?
I was better before we had that segment introduced for today. How
It'll
are
be a
you?
lot of fun. I'm okay. I've been up since 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Why?
we got the little ones. I got the little ones, and they're doing their whole thing. But it's fine.
Yeah. No
That's what
sleep.
Not
That's
sleeping.
fine.
It's little ones.
What'd he say?
Yes.
All right, Joe.
And you know him, you love him. I am going to be with him at the Tulsa Ballroom on May 14th in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You can go to louderwithcrowder.com/tour. The two of us together. There are some tickets left.
Very few.
Very few, which actually sucks because we have a really funny commercial for Tulsa tomorrow. We may just have to cut. I did all that Sam Elliott work for nothing. Dave Landau, how are you, sir?
Ahoy. How about you?
I'm fine. I love you wearing your Ed Furlong white supremacist jacket.
Yes, that's what I do. I got the strange animal, though.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah, I want my brother's in jail.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, he does laundry with a black guy, and they bond
That's
over...
how he figures out that he's not racist.
Yes, exactly.
He's like, no, there's a guy I met who pretended that a pillowcase was a Klan hat.
Right, yeah,
You're
exactly.
like, oh, that's why you stopped.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Good
for
Yeah.
you.
You're easily swayed.
What was the scene like where you told him about the curb stomp?
Yeah.
We never got that. Never came up.
No, he's like, why are you in here? And I was like, oh, nothing.
Nothing. It was just a. It was
Misunderstanding.
Embezzlement.
Long story short, I beat a guy at basketball, which wouldn't have happened, and then I curb stomped him.
Yeah. No, I beat him at basketball with the big guy from My Name Is Earl.
Yeah. Yeah, who's now actually very athletic, but at the time was not.
All right, so before I move on to that, we're going to be talking. Well, it's almost all gay because you have we're talking about the Florida bill, the reaction, and Mitt Romney. So. And this is the, before that, I've been instructed not to watch this. And this has been circulating everywhere. It's a commercial for Oreos, I believe. And they said, don't watch it, my producers, because they wanted me to watch it on air. This is my life, unfortunately.
Sorry.
And so...
and now yours.
Have you seen this yet, Dave?
I did. Yeah,
you cheated.
I found
You're the kind of guy who peeks at Christmas presents.
I found it, actually, because I was quite stunned. And I had to say, guys, we should show this to Stephen.
As you were eating Oreos.
I peeked once at a Christmas present, and I found out what it was, and it ruined. I was like, I never want to do that again. You know what it was? It was a Power Pens with a Z. Do you guys remember those?
No.
Like a pen that shoots a dart, and mine was supposed to be a spy pen where you could hear people, and it would amplify it, but instead it was just a bunch of feedback. It didn't work.
Well, if this was a Christmas present, most dads would be like, boy, I wish you would have got me something else.
Yeah. Hey, do we still have the box? Tell them to play in it. We'll put them in a fridge out on the curb. One of those classic KitchenAids that you can't open from the inside when I lock it.
Oh, those aren't good.
No, they aren't.
No.
Big problem in Detroit.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a commercial for Oreos. I'm watching it for the first time. Apparently I'm alone in this. Let's see what they're doing.
我们都是一家人。你们绕过半个地球来着，就是想给我们更好的生活。可是我是
Oh no.
Are they going to beat him with that?
No.
Right.
Oh no. I think I know where this is going. I've seen enough Gillette commercials.
可是
It's the best a man can get.
我爱你。
Well, that's nice. I don't get what the fuss is about.
So sweet.
No.
I
爱
Aye.
我爱你。
Arg.
I think you're ready.
Oh no.
See, I thought he was talking to her at first.
That's what I thought.
Nope.
That would have been a nice little tale.
There's a guest. Look who's coming to dinner. Or guess who's coming to dinner.
你 ready 了吗？
Not so much.
It's the remake of Guess Who for the third time.
Right. Oh, I just saw the way that guy walked. I think I know where this is going.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a stelter.
Yeah. At least it's directed in the most horrific, like, Korean cinema way.
Yeah. How is this a commercial? Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, there's going to be the host.
Yeah.
How is this a commercial? What is this? This is a commercial?
This is
Yeah, it's a
Like a long-
commercial, a very long commercial, but a short film commercial,
Right.
as Oreos put it.
Good old hum sing.
Yes, you need that.
it's the best song ever.
Coming out doesn't just happen once. What the? Okay.
Yeah. Oreo.
When you're hiding what's on the inside.
My gosh.
Right. Oreo, because we're cream filled.
Yes. For crying out loud.
I know that that's a look low.
It would be a more
but really-
appropriate commercial for Bob Dole to be literally screwing his 90-year-old wife.
Yeah.
Viagra.
Well, it
It's the twist.
it could just be two men railing each other, and then it's just like Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's just, it's like another guy joins in, like, Pop-Tart Mini Bites.
I've just never been at the store and been like, excuse me, are these EL Fudges LGBTQ friendly?
Right, yeah. Your frosted mini wheats. I'm the wheat side, and I'm the queer side.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good. I can support this.
Excuse me, are these Oreos, do they like gays?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
The Oreos, do they like gay people? Could you get out of my store? Yeah.
Hold on, let me poll. There's got to be, hey, anyone here gay? Yeah. Do you like Oreos? Might as well slap it right on my hips. This is false advertising.
Yeah,
Yes.
no.
They don't like these.
Yeah, make sure you get the name brand Oreos. The off brands hate queers.
Yes. The Westboroughs.
Yeah. You drown them in milk. You don't just dip them, you hold them down for 60 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. You drag them up.
The Oreo.
Never mind.
Nope. So terrible. So terrible.
Westboroughs. Honey Nut Westboroughs.
Now they would have a problem with the color of the Oreos as well.
Oh my gosh. That's okay. That's right. Fine. That's just, no more Oreos. now.
Advertising. Yeah.
Oreos used to be the close to perfect cookie. Will you guys no longer buy Oreos? Does Daily Wire need to start a $100 million cookie company?
Yes. An
I really
anti-Oreo company.
I don't even care. I like Oreos. It's just we're just pandering. That's what I hate about all these corporations. If it wasn't hip to be gay, you wouldn't be doing it.
No,
exactly.
not at all.
It's
where were you guys 20
pandering
years
nonsense.
ago?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. I don't remember the AIDS epidemic 1985 Oreos, do you?
Hey,
Just follow your source.
Yes.
yeah, exactly. Show me your Saudi Arabia commercials. I'd love to see if it transitions over there.
Count Chocula was just Magic Johnson,
Yeah,
just
it's just-
losing like 90 pounds.
Yeah, he's just like barely like holding onto the cereal bowl.
Frosted Philadelphia Flakes. Okay.
Where's Frankenberry? Oh, he's not on the box.
yeah.
He died.
He was waiting on some drugs that never
It was a
came from
long,
Fauci.
painful
Yeah.
death. It was drawn out.
He can't figure it out. All of his friends are dying
Toucan
too.
Sam is just following his nose to Mexico to get the real cocktail.
Jared Leto's. Jared Leto
Oh,
O's. All right.
Gosh.
Well, that's good. I'm just glad that we all know what cookies are.
For crying out loud. I just can't believe that this is, well, I can't believe it.
Yeah, totally can.
And then people act like you're crazy that you think they're trying to sexualize everything.
Yeah, it's a cookie.
Yeah, it's a cookie. There shouldn't be any sexual. I didn't know that gays weren't allowed to buy Oreos.
No, I've
Is there
always...
someone just blocking them out? Like, no.
And then finally they were like, all right, we like you now.
Yes. It was just the official policy of Albertsons if they saw a gay man buying Oreos to take that dividing bar. And,
Hey, these aren't for you. Get your hands off those cookies.
the Astroglides aisles over there, sir.
right
Okay.
over there, yeah.
I think I know your kind. All right.
The bananas are over there. And
Right.
You might want to pick up some condoms for your deviant lifestyle.
Yes, exactly. Also, I don't know the directions to the bathhouse. Fauci, where's the bathhouse? Okay. So here's an update. Yesterday we talked about this Elon Musk.
Yeah.
90, but not 90,
yeah.
a 9% stake in Twitter, which makes him the largest shareholder.
Yeah.
And we have an update that as of this morning, he's taken a seat on the board of directors.
Yeah. taken a seat on the board. I love how Parag here.
Taken is the right word.
Yeah. There was that, what's her name? That Shirav Virjan, that lady whose name sounds like the lady parts who was on Joe Rogan. He just walked in and he's like, the seat taken? Looks free.
Yeah. Oh, it's mine now.
That's mine. No.
We should get along your table.
It turns out I own this place.
Yes.
Oh.
So weird.
Weird.
Flame throws the table.
Yeah.
Greed is good.
So he was welcomed enthusiastically by Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal, and he said, I'm excited to share that we're appointing Elon Musk to our board. Through conversations with Elon in recent weeks, it became clear to us that he would bring great value to our board. No, Elon chimed in.
He did? Yeah.
Publicly.
Let's see this.
Which I like. It's like when Jeff Goldblum in Life Aquatic walks over and spanks Bill Murray's dog.
Yes.
Elon Musk responded, looking forward to working with Parag and Twitter board to make significant improvements to Twitter in coming months.
I like how he tweets like he's Latka from Taxi.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Just to add that extra level.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So you think
Twitter
Parag
board.
seriously had a conversation where they were like, yeah, Elon's going to be great. We have to put him on the board.
Well, this will allow him to have an active role, by the way, in things like, the banned user accounts, tweets that have been suspended, or for example, when there are all those death threats made against me, people posting my addresses and people posting my address on Twitter. I was like, no, we'll leave it up. I'm like, I don't understand the rules. I'm like, you're not supposed to.
No.
So he should actually have some. Well, he should have the ability to influence policies at Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't know if he will.
I'm hoping he's that guy. That guy who gets power and actually does something good with it. He seems like it so far.
Right. Yes, he does. Yeah.
And of course, the Gestapo, the left, they're furious. Especially your favorite guy,
Mr. Robert Reich.
Robert Reich.
I'm not going to say Reich or Reich. He's definitely the third.
Clearly threatened, I guess, by what this may mean. Do we have his?
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong with an oligarch determining what constitutes free speech? Don't you love how we went from the left? You always used to use these arguments. We would talk about YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, for example, with the New York Post story, or us quoting the CDC being banned. They say, "Oh yeah, it's a private company; they can do what they want." Now they're like, "This is too important to be in the hands of oligarchs."
Right.
That's exactly.
So
the point.
only Elon Musk is the oligarch?
Yeah. And by the way, his version of free speech is, hey, stop banning stuff.
Right.
So maybe we'll start
his version
there.
of free speech is actually called free speech. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You should look it up.
Sort of like his version of green policy. His version of, renewable energy was actually creating products that people wanted, as opposed to forcing and like California, which he had to leave. Think about that for a second.
Cars that you wanted.
That'd be like a Nazi being like, I guess I have no place in Deutschland anymore.
No. I miss you.
I'll have to go over to America.
The train stopped running on time.
Yes. I am the loneliest Nazi. Yes. In the world.
No home.
No more Jews.
No chamber to pull the switch. I will miss you, Germany.
Exactly.
I look forward to seeing.
I just can't believe that Elon Musk had to leave California. In other words, if green policies worked, come on, it would be Shangri-La for someone like an Elon Musk. And he's just like, wow, I cannot do this in California.
You should love his success, but Robert Reich and those guys only want it to be successful if it comes from the government or mildly successful. The minute you start making a ton of money off of something and going gangbusters with it, they're like, oh, you're part of the problem now. It's like,
unless you're in the government.
You don't want me to be a part of the team. Got it.
Well, it's because capitalism and the Constitution is a real problem for these people.
It really is.
Well, they openly hate it. That's what they tell you. Like, oh, the founding fathers were racist. Like, here's one thing, too. When people try and say, we're just as American as you are. No, hold on a second. But you're talking about wanting to break down institutions and norms. You're like, well, that's because it's patriarchy. Okay, but let's just say let's assume that that's true. And it's not white supremacy, patriarchy. Okay, fine. Well, guess what? Those are the institutions of this country. So let's assume that they're all bad. And of course they're not. But if we use your argument, you still hate this country. There's no way around it. I just want to improve it. Not if you want to fundamentally change what makes this country. It's like, I like Oreos. Really? I just think there should be chocolate chip cookies. Well, you don't like Oreos.
Yeah, I love the Constitution except for, serious parts of it.
Yeah.
I just want to change most of it.
Namely all
the
of
main
it.
points of it.
Yeah.
The stuff that makes this country great, I just want to get rid of that part.
Let's just move that stuff out.
They're like, well, if you look at the comma on the Second Amendment and right to bear arms, okay, so what's your solution? No right to own guns whatsoever.
Oh,
okay. That seems a little more extreme.
How about free speech there?
Not entirely sure.
So much.
So here's another story before we get to Mitt Romney, and this is going to be fun. A 6-year-old man received, this is in Germany.
60.
That's what I just said.
You said 6.
I didn't say
I was
6.
trying to be
I
helpful.
heard 6.
Can we
Should I
admonish?
him?
There's no such thing as a 6-year-old man, just like there's no such thing as a 6-year-old transgender.
That's the whole point of me saying 60. Thank you for making my point.
6-year-old transgender. We'll get to that. There's no such thing as a 6-year-old transgender. If you can't consent to sex, and you shouldn't,
No.
you can't consent to sexual reassignment surgery. Period. Okay?
Done.
All right. A
Agreed.
60-year-old man received up to 90 injections
wow.
of the COVID vaccine.
This just
Although
got weirder.
in order to sell fake vaccine cards with real batch numbers. So you have to appreciate his commitment.
Yeah, I mean, they're not even really fake cards.
No, not at
They're
that
just
point.
straight up.
I mean, there's some buy-in.
Yeah.
At that point, you just let him have the card.
I mean, he's doing he's doing Satan's work.
So 90 injections. You know what the worst part is? 91 injections, 90 seconds free.
Really?
He was just shy.
Oh, that's too
no.
bad.
Did he have the little punch cards?
Yeah, it's called his tricep.
Yeah. It's,
So, according to AP, it's not immediately clear what impact the shots, which were from several different brands, had on this man's personal health. Although we actually do have a video of him taking this man in question 90 COVID vaccines just before the time of arrest. Well, you know, I'm not a biologist. Also, his wife is suspected of taking a similar amount of vaccines, which I think, yeah.
oh.
Well, you know what?
Well, you know what? I think vaccines might be good for women after all.
Yeah, I encourage any attractive woman to look into it.
Yeah.
Attractive and or busty.
Yes, especially busty.
Yeah.
Is this
You can be one or the other. It's best you be both.
Yeah.
is this a cry for help from this guy? He's like, yeah, give me another one. Let's use the J&J. I hear that one's really effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got any of that AstraZeneca in there? It's like, yeah, it's right next to the packing peanuts.
Yeah. He's basically vaccinated from the vaccine at this point.
Yes, exactly.
Who knows what's going
Just
through his body?
synthesize his blood.
Okay. Hey, I forgot. So the intro. This show to you today is brought to you by Built Bar. You can go to Built.com, use the promo code Crowder15. You get 15% off your next order.
Nice.
I've been using them, the Built Bars, since I lost about 30-something pounds. Because I just use them like dessert. No one needs like protein. They're delicious. Although Built Bar.
We got to talk.
Built Bar. We have to talk.
Real talk.
Bring back coconut fudge brownie chunk. And the name's long. I get it. But it was the best it's the best one.
We need to start a campaign.
Not just the coconut one. I don't want just the coconut. Put it back. I want the coconut with the fudge brownie chunk. What happened? I don't need any more birthday cake.
Okay, it's really delicious.
It's fantastic stuff.
Yeah, the coconut brownie chunk. Was it a limited edition? Was it seasonal? What are you getting it from? Local coconut brownie chunk farms?
Is it like the McRib?
Or the Shamrock Shake? Yeah.
This is from the coconut brownie chunk farm to table Built Bar. No, it was delicious. I love those. I put them in the freezer. It was that.
Yeah.
They're all good. All the chocolate ones are good, but that was my jam. Okay, now it's time to move on to, and I've been waiting for this for a while, and I don't know why it took so long. Mitt Romney, what a piece of shit. All right, so we have a few reasons here as to why Romney is just the worst. And you probably know what happened just recently. But does anybody like Mitt? Comment below. Did you vote for Mitt Romney and still? You know what? Hold on a second. Before I want to hear from the Mormons.
Yes.
Because you know how when like terrorist attacks happen, we say, well, there aren't enough moderate Muslims like condemning it across. Mormons, you need to condemn Mitt Romney.
You guys owe us.
We do it with the Westboro Baptist Church.
Yeah.
We're like, well, they're not. There's like only 12 members, and 8 of them have flippers. They're all brother and sister.
Yeah.
They're not. So Mitt Romney, because he gives, unfortunately, a lot of people go like, oh, look, he's Mormon. I don't think he's actually really Mormon.
What?
I think he's a Scientologist.
I kind of feel that way too.
Wait, why?
And his full name, Mittens.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh.
Mittens.
Like a cat. I don't even think he's a person. Right. I think he's a cat in a people costume.
Cat self. That's his
Yes,
Well, then
full
we should
name
just-
is Mittens. That's a fact.
we should
Google.
just dangle a piece of yarn out into the ocean.
Yep.
See what?
He's a cat in a people costume.
What? I don't. Wait, no.
Oh.
Do I like yarn? Do I not like yarn? I can't decide. Depends on who I'm talking to.
He's pro-yarn and then he's anti-yarn.
Yeah, he's really anti-yarn today.
So a few examples of he is the quintessential example. People talk about elite politicians.
Yeah.
People talk about the swamp. This guy has a career. He comes from a family of. I don't just mean wealth, but he comes from a family of politicians. He's been in public office for a very long time. Yeah. What he did with Bain Capital was very different from starting a business from the ground up, right? You are sort of talking about that. What people. Basically, going in and laying people off is what he would do. Now, I understand that that's something that efficiency experts do. I get that. I understand it, but it's not the same as starting a business from the ground up.
Right.
So, a perfect example of how shitty, and just so if you have kids, you should have been tipped off with the "what a piece of shit" segment. The word's going to make a recurring appearance. As to how shitty he is, this is a perfect example of how out of touch with the average American he is when he made the 2 Cadillac flub.
I like the fact that most of the cars I see are Detroit-made automobiles. I drive a Mustang and a Chevy pickup truck. Ann drives a couple of Cadillacs, actually. And I used to have a Dodge truck, so I used to have all 3
She riding them like skis?
Yeah, just she's got a couple caddies.
He just basically said, "Yeah, we have 5 or 6 cars that we just rotate between." Yeah. Like, way to connect.
And we put our dog on the roof of all of them.
Yes, indeed.
We have 2 Cadillacs in every garage in this country. That's the American dream. And then we have a Dodge Ram in the driveway. And then I also have a Taurus show. Right. There's a couple Mustangs.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to name every American
4
brand.
private jets.
Yes. I also have an Audi I'm hiding. And
I love
then
the Teslas.
2 Nissans.
Yeah, Tesla's good too. Yeah. Anything else made in the USA that I own?
I never drive them, though. That's my chauffeur, Cliff.
Yes.
He drives them.
Yeah. He says he loves them.
Yeah. And I have nothing against. Look, I think it's great if you have wealth, if you've accrued wealth. I think it's great if you have cars. That's fine. It's just this is a guy who never understood how out of touch he was with the average American. And now let me kind of parlay that into the American voter. I don't know who he's trying to appease, Mitt Romney. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, this is a man who has no home. He should be homeless. He deserves no home. So in 94 and in 2002, of course, Mitt Romney was adamantly pro-abortion, pro-choice.
Is that we're each entitled to have strong personal beliefs, and we encourage other people to do the same. But as a nation, we recognize the right of all people to believe as they want, and not to impose our beliefs on other people. I believe that abortion should be safe and legal in this country. I have since the time that my mom took that position when she ran in 1970 as a U.S. Senate candidate.
Shannon snuck a little extra point in there that I want to address, and that is with regards to my views with regards to protecting a woman's right to choose. And I've been very clear on that. I will preserve and protect a woman's right to choose, and am devoted and dedicated to honoring my word in that regard.
Now, here's the thing. If Hillary Clinton, that wouldn't be a problem, okay?
Right.
But here's why he's such a piece of shit. Is because, and you can feel free to when I say, well, yeah, you know, that's your cue. We don't want to misuse the soundboard. Respect the soundboard. It's soundboard magnolia. He then flip-flopped. You know, he said he changed his position in 2004, and his telling of it was he met a medical researcher working in embryonic stem cells, which is entirely questionable. He was asked about it, I believe, in the primaries in 2008. There was never a flash of genius moment, and I don't believe him. Let me tell you why I don't believe him. It would be one thing if he said, I was radically, pro-choice, and I was, I was a Democrat for a very long time because I didn't understand the science, and then I became, I converted to Mormonism, or I converted to Christianity, and through my faith, I did some more research, and I realized that I was wrong. Okay, but he didn't. Instead, he was like, I was pro-abortion, and then, now I'm not. What a piece of shit. That's the issue.
Yeah, he basically licked his finger, put it up in the air, and said, which way is the wind blowing on this issue for my my voters?
Well, the internet came out, and he was like, oh, I'll do that.
Right, yeah. And then he was like, oh, wait, does the internet also mean that they have the video from all the times I said that before?
Oh, yeah. I was shown polling recently that said people would like me more if I held this position. So, you know what? I hold that position.
But I also read polling that said people will never like me.
Oh,
they will never like me.
What I do.
Do they also have videos of me in private crapping all over poor people? Oh, dear.
Oh, no. My word.
Oh, my stars.
Boy, that almost makes the 2 Cadillacs seem like, what am I, Joe Biden right now? I just had a stroke. I just thought,
well, it's because he has 2 catalogs of Cadillacs.
He has 2 catalogs of Cadillacs. Yeah. He just looked through his own catalog. Why'd you have a catalog of your cars printed?
Yeah. Oh, you don't have these?
You don't have your own Romney wish list, and it's just your garage?
I'm sorry.
You don't have notebooks full of women and
cars? You must be stupid and poor.
Yes.
You can't understand this, you plebe.
I understand you're gay. Do you like Oreos?
Yeah.
How about Doritos?
Now,
Your kid
here's
was like a real Oreo eater.
Twix.
Mittens.
Oreos, Twix, Doritos. You're taking my will to live.
Those are, Kit Kat, stay out of it.
Yeah, come on.
Lucky Charms needs to change the Taste the Rainbow tagline.
No, that's Skittles.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they don't.
Oh, I just
I think
totally
they.
mixed
I
those
think
up.
they're staying neutral.
I think they were always a gay cane.
That's what they throw out at the gay pride parade.
Yeah.
Skittles, which
Yeah.
is not safe because it's not, it's not even packaged at that point. It's just loose Skittles.
Even seagulls are like, this is a little hard to chew.
Yeah, it's a little hard to chew. And I eat fries covered in cayenne pepper. Now,
Do you
both. No, it's like seagulls do. I used to because I used to eat the fries and I used to dip them in cayenne pepper, and then I realized it was cruel.
Let's move
I
on.
was a kid.
Yes.
I was a kid. I was a child.
You were 27.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
It's second adolescence. So in both impeachment proceedings against President Donald Trump, Mitt Romney, and he was one of the only Republicans. And again, it's the constant virtue signaling with this piece of shit. That's the problem with Mitt Romney. It'd be one thing if he were a Democrat. I understand it. But it's another when he claims to, he claims certain values. He claims shared principles, and then he never stands on them consistently. And he wants to say, hey, everyone, look, hey, aren't I great? Look how inconsistent I am. Yeah. And people are just like, that just makes you a dick. He's like, I prefer a piece of shit. So he voted for impeachment 2 times. Here you go. Here he is talking.
The grave question the Constitution tasks senators to answer is whether the president committed an act so extreme and egregious that it rises to the level of a high crime and misdemeanor. Yes, he did. The president asked a foreign government to investigate his political rival. The president withheld vital military funds from that government to press it to do so. The president delayed funds for an American ally at war with Russian invaders.
You talking about Joe Biden?
The president's purpose was personal and political. Accordingly, the president is guilty of an appalling abuse of public trust.
Okay, first off, we are all children.
Yes. Yeah.
Second, he's talking about Donald Trump and Ukraine. And by the way, Zelensky said everything that guy said is bullshit. He said there was no quid pro quo.
No.
Zelensky said it's not true. This is not true. So Mitt Romney is up there grandstanding, and isn't it rich where he's like, he did this for political and personal purposes. Right. You've never done anything for political gain, Mitt Romney, of the Romney political dynasty.
Yeah, like moving to Utah.
Right.
So you can run. All right, Hillary.
Yeah, he was a Detroiter for a long time, right?
He was Detroit.
Well,
Ish.
Bloomfield Hills.
Yeah.
Massachusetts, and then,
anywhere where there's money.
Well, where he can be voted into office.
Now, here's something else. Even for Democrats, it wouldn't be considered extreme, but even now, Democrats will look back on it with shame. I don't know if Mitt Romney is capable of shame, because he's a sociopath. So, March 15th, 2022, this is not that long ago. I don't know if you know this. This is just a couple weeks ago. He voted in favor of keeping the federal mask mandate on children. Just like, even when he stands nothing to gain politically, because at that point, people are like, we were wrong about that. Mitt Romney's like, no, look, I'm still dumb.
You don't need a mask law for children. There's plenty of ways. They're kids. They'll believe anything. You can scare the shit out of them in so many ways.
Yes, exactly.
Just drop it already, you know? It's unreal when I still see this.
And instead, let's spend that money on getting them estrogen pills. But here's Mitt Romney voting in favor of it.
Next, we have Braun Amendment number 8.
Well, now I just hate him more.
HHS from implementing or enforcing their regulations regarding mask or vaccination protections in the Head Start program. Again, I will be a no on this.
Watch this.
Does anyone want Senator Braun's 15 seconds? Seeing none, clerk will call the roll.
Aye by proxy.
Senator Romney.
What a piece of shit.
Romney, he sucks. Hey!
She's almost looking at him like, Romney, are you going to... No? Really? All right.
Now, here's the thing. The most recent one, of course, this just happened yesterday. Romney, or yesterday or a couple days ago. Was it?
On April 4th.
Was on April 4th. What are we, the 6th?
Yesterday. No, we're the 5th.
We're the 5th, okay. So Romney, he came out and he said that he would be voting to confirm former Vice President Biden's radical Supreme Court nominee, Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Now...
And that shocks some people.
This shocks you.
For very good reason.
So here's the weird thing. He voted against her, and I say her as in a woman, he voted against her when she was nominated to the D.C. appellate court.
Yeah, long time ago, right?
Yeah, well, in 2021.
Oh, 2021.
Yeah.
Oh, so you mean
2021.
like there's almost no new information that could possibly be available.
Hey, everybody, come and look at how not racist I am.
Yeah. Sure, I was months ago.
Right.
But I've changed my ways since December.
Mitt Romney is the only person on whom Whoopi Goldberg's reverse psychology works.
It absolutely works.
You're not going to vote for her? Are you racist, child? No, I'm Mormon.
Define her. No one can do that.
How dare you?
And people always say, they go, well, no one else was ever asked that. Well, you know why? Because everyone else throughout the history of mankind would have been able to answer it.
It never came up.
No, it never came up.
No one ever had, exactly, no one was ever like, can you tell me what a woman is? And somebody was like, I have no idea.
Right, exactly. And the reason it wasn't asked was because we didn't have men competing and winning in women's sports. Now, I know what you're saying. When you say men, what do you mean? I mean male with a penis in the pool with women.
Yeah.
Saying he's a woman.
Yes.
Because he believes it, because he is.
Yes.
The thought never crossed their minds that there would ever be any debate.
And some people now are trying to argue this is just gotcha. No, it's relevant because you will have cases that will get kicked up to the Supreme Court. And by the way, the legal definition of woman matters at this point for things like Title IX. By the way, for sexual abuse laws, just to be clear. Of course it matters. It didn't used to matter because no one thought that woman would just be a figment of your imagination, or it could be anyone who chooses to put on a maxi dress that day. Mitt Romney, what a piece of shit. I'm done with this guy. By the way, if you're watching right now, you can smash that like button because I don't know if you know this. Mitt Romney hate watches this show.
Does he?
And this will just reflect to him that you don't like him. Yeah.
Stupid mittens.
I'm so glad that felt good.
Did it feel good?
It did.
Good.
I've been angry at this person for a while.
Good.
So
yeah, I
feel
don't
better
care
about
for
me.
him.
All right. Now we move on to the whole "Don't Say Gay" bill.
Oh yeah, can't say that word.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Here's the thing. I
Anywhere
say
in
you
Florida.
can't say gay, but I tested it.
Did you?
I still can.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I traveled to Florida just to see if I could, and I landed in Florida. Not Southwest because it was canceled.
Yeah.
So I landed in Florida,
and
I said, people misrepresenting a bill by claiming that it's titled "Don't Say Gay," even though it doesn't appear in the bill. Well, that's gay, and no one arrested me.
How did you escape?
I'm just saying, you have to test it. You have to go through the scientific process.
Or just read the bill.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
That would be.
It might have been easier, but I needed a break. I needed some me time.
You needed the miles.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Plus, I had to ask all the roller skaters in Miami about the "Don't Say Gay" bill, and you know what? They were very handsy. Now,
bladers. They like to be called bladers.
Yes, bladers.
For that purpose alone.
Yeah, they're trying to rebrand.
Yes. They don't like the term fruit boots.
No, they do. Okay. So I'm trying to think of how to get into this, but all right, we'll get to the point of all these teachers now who are quitting in Florida because they can't actually indoctrinate your children with the whole sexualization and gender theory. But over the weekend, Huffington Post published an article written by Allegra Hirschman. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but you don't need to tweet me, Allegra. I don't care.
So I see you're named after allergy medicine.
Yes, exactly. No, oh, sorry. Wait, that's a typo. It's Zyrtec Hirschman.
Sorry. Claritin Hirschman?
Yes. Don't get me started. Yes. Don't get me started on Benadryl Goldberg.
Old Flonase Hirschman.
Old antihistamine Smith. Her name's my name, too. So, wrote this whole article at HuffPo titled, "I'm trying to raise my kids as homosexuals, and I never even have to say gay." Now, in the article, there are a bunch of quotes. All references are available at loudofcolor.com. Like this, Jim. "At first, I thought this heterophilia forced on kids was disgusting, until it gave me the fantastic idea that I could also raise my children with a preferred sexual orientation from the very beginning of their lives. Although I am bi, my wife and I chose to go full-on homo with your kids, and let me tell you, I think it's working." Now, in case you didn't realize that this is satire, it's satire, and obviously it's so... We're at the point where you may not know that it's satire because most liberals reading it upvoted it right away. And that's...
It's like they're stealing the Babylon Beast thunder.
No, exactly.
We can't do this
So she goes on to say that it's satire, which is a sign of good satire.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I have to tell you that I'm joking.
Yeah, exactly. Like it says in the opening credits of Naked Gun that it's parody.
Right.
Airplane.
Hey, you do the same. You explain a joke, and that makes it funnier, right?
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. Get out. Come on, you broke that habit. Don't get back into
Okay.
it. So here's what the point she's trying to convey. that the idea that teachers are going to influence your children, as far as sexual orientation, as far as gender, as far as even introducing these subjects, maybe in ways that you may not deem to be age appropriate, that it's a boogeyman, right? That that it's not actually happening. And here she goes on to make her case, and I will piece by piece show you why it's entirely incorrect. And let me just sort of try and break it down, because she's claiming that it's satire, but not really, because she goes back and forth between trying to make a point and satire. Just a horrible writer, this Zyrtec. So I wrote this piece as a satire to make a point. Thank you for clarifying. Even if my wife and I actually spent every waking moment trying to force a, quote, gay agenda on our kids, they may still turn out straight. Oh, the horror, like 99% of humans always. But that's not what any of this is really about.
Oh.
Hold, Clarendon. That's exactly what this is about.
It's why you wrote it.
Yes, it's exactly why you wrote it. Kids are easily programmable because they're stupid. They are easily impressionable, and they're dumb. And you, well, I don't know you. I don't think they'll be programmed by your writing, but certainly by public school teachers can be programmed by people outside of the home.
They're sponges capable of learning everything, and you're supposed to teach them and guide them.
Right.
That's the age they're at.
For the same reason you don't use naughty words when they're learning to speak, you don't teach them about suturing up your hooch and putting on a fake strap-on when they're 6.
Is that 9 when you're supposed to do that?
Yeah, I watched Captain Planet when I was a kid, and I spray painted a fur coat. Yeah. Tell me the kids aren't impressionable.
Well, they're trying to impress their parents, too. So if your parents are pushing something, your teachers are pushing something on you, you're trying to adopt it and impress them.
Well, and kids are very impressionable. Let me give you some numbers here really quickly. So you've heard me mention the fact that that's not what she's saying is, of course, the opposite of what the data shows us. Now, here's the thing. You may not like what the data says. You may want to say, well, it's more nuanced than that. And this is something we'll talk about, I think, next week. They'll say white supremacy, or they'll say patriarchy. You'll hear this from the left, right? They'll create these big umbrella terms. Like white supremacy, that's why black people aren't getting these loans, from banks. And you go, well, what about the fact that black lenders actually give to black borrowers they reject them at twice the rate of white banks? Well, it's more complex than that. I know, but you said white supremacy. So you're the one who's being reductive to a false degree. There's nothing more reductive, falsely, than white supremacy, than patriarchy, these umbrella terms that they use, and then when you call them on it, they say, well, actually, it's a little bit more nuanced. Okay, look, you may want to claim that, and I understand that there can be sub-points here, but the data is the data. You may not like it, but it is. You may not think that data do what it do, but it be.
Ooh,
so
that's deep.
You've heard me mention the number before, where 97% of kids who claim they're transgender actually grow out of it. And we have the references available at loudearthcutter.com. After being or not taking puberty blockers, that number drops to 0%. So almost all of them grow out of it. Mm-hmm. And then if you put them on puberty blockers or you have some kind of an intervention, that number drops to growing out of it, 0. Now, legitimately, people complained about the stat and say, well, the sample study is too small. And that's true. I believe the study was conducted in either 2008 or 2011. Now, that's because back then, transgender wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
No. It wasn't a thing. You can go back and watch an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I believe it was season 2, where they have an entire episode where a guy is dating a transsexual. The term transgender didn't exist. You had transvestites and you had transsexuals. Then they just said, well, let's just make a wide enough, again, umbrella that if a guy in a muumuu is the same as someone who goes through sex reassignment surgery. And now we have a third category. Just to be clear, just so you understand, that's why the sample size was small. Well, now we have a larger study from 2021, which the largest sample of boys referred for gender dysphoria, and that's a whole other topic, the way they've changed the definition of gender dysphoria, an average age of 8 years old, at the time of diagnosis. 87.8% were classified that way, or classified, as desisters by their early 20s, meaning they grew out of it.
87.8%.
87%.
With a much larger study.
So we went 97 with a small study, and now at least 87. Let's just split the difference. We'll give you 90.
That's an A.
Like, oh, well, my son played with Barbies because he wanted to look up their skirts. It doesn't mean that he wants to be one.
Yeah, you also might want to burn their hair.
Yes, of course.
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't even. My neighbor had them.
Yeah,
we lit all of them on fire.
You put them in the Easy Bake Oven, see what you can do.
Yeah, and also Ken, he was a post-op.
Yep, he was a post-op. He was also a little bit of a poser, Ken.
Yeah,
not very authentic.
No.
So the point is, they try and say, well, kids are not easily influenced by teachers. And this is why parents are the most important safeguard, just to be clear, against teachers in public schools. First off, parents, if you're sending your kid to public school, you have a serious problem. In 2022, I'm just going to say that's not an option at this point. Parents, if you want to raise decent children, you cannot put them in public school. You guys can comment below if anyone disagrees with me. There used to be the argument, well, I want them to socialize. I want them to become more cultured. No. A culture of degeneracy. Yeah. And a culture of indoctrination sometimes people say teachers real heroes. When I'm referring to them public school teachers, I actually use the term worst among us.
Employees with lots and lots of breaks?
Yeah. Oh, wait, you mean you work more than 182 days a year? Yes.
There's so many pissed off teachers right now. Look, if you're a great teacher, thank you, but most of you are not.
Well, how do you kind of need the summer, though, at home to be like, look, you're not a girl, Tim.
Right, yes, exactly. It takes a lot of convincing.
Yeah, sometimes
circle
you
back.
try to fix all of the things they screwed up during the year.
It's like I have a 7-year-old, and we're talking about 8-year-olds. I can't imagine, like, I'm a girl. You're just like, no, you're not. Shut up.
Yeah.
No. The teacher's going to be, you can be whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, especially if the teacher is one of those gender-bending, blue-haired, lesbian, queer genders, pansexual. Because she'd be like, well, no, actually, let me show you a picture of my wife. It's like, look, okay, Professor Scissor Sister, we don't need you to be in charge of our children's education. So let me give you an idea as to how it's increased, the percentage of the population. Now, to be clear, throughout human history, there's always been about 2% of the population that's been gay.
Okay.
That's not something that really has changed, and we've had that data for a long time.
The Greeks
but now we can
the
just
number, yeah.
The what?
The Greeks skew the number.
The Greeks did skew the number.
They went a little far with it.
Well, the Greeks were, as far as same-sex sodomy, were 100%, but it wasn't. It was a power thing.
It was exactly. Yeah. They didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Dominance.
Yeah, exactly.
And come on, how long are you going to be out at sea?
Yeah.
Right.
What, Gerald? How do you establish a pecking order?
Yeah. Come on. Learn to speak Greek. We're going out to battle.
So let's go by generation, though. This is from Gallup, okay? Not a bastion of right-wing conservatism. Right. Those identifying as, I love how they use the term LGBT. Some of the QAAIP are going to be pissed off.
Yes, they are.
So born before 1946, 0.8%. Then baby boomers, 2.6%. Then Gen X, it goes up to 4.2%. Then millennials, it goes up to 10.5%. Then Gen Z is 20.8%. And some projections, they're estimating that it'll be 50%. That means it's a coin toss. Mm-hmm. It's heads or dicks.
Yep. Heads or heads?
Or dicks or tails.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that there's a certain portion of society who, the Rock Hudsons of the world, where it's like they said, no, I'm straight, but secretly they were, playing doctor with Gomer Pyle. So I get it that it wasn't as societally acceptable back in the day. And so you would say the percentage was higher. Sure, but not 20%. Let me give you, a couple of points here.
Well, and everybody knew, though. I mean, you had, like, Liberace going on Carson, and he's like, so, are you still a lucky bachelor? He's like, yeah, I just haven't found the right woman yet.
Yes.
And we all just played along. Yeah, it was a little higher.
Or like when Ricky Martin was interviewed by Barbara Walters, I think, and she said, where do you find yourself most comfortable? He said, in between the sheets, with a woman! With a woman!
Yeah, with a girl. Lots of women. breasts.
Nom, 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 nom.
Love them.
Seeing how hot Stelter's wife is?
Yeah, I love breasts. Women.
We share a purse. So, a couple of things. First off, gay was still, even if you say it was less societally acceptable, we can go back to the 50s, to the 60s. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. At the time,
it was still a thing, though.
Yeah.
It was still, people knew what gay was. Okay? You didn't need a new category. People were saying, I want to keep it secret that I am gay. Transgender wasn't a thing in 2010. It's an entirely new category. So the measurement back then still would be someone, if they're trying to keep it a secret, it still would be, are you gay? And back then they would have filed lesbian under there. It's always been a significantly smaller percentage of the population than men. It's been relatively fixed. It's very, very low. The boom in lesbianism is only recent. It's a recent phenomenon. Throughout history, it's mostly been gay men. Don't necessarily know why. We just know that that's the case. And the data reflects it. It is what it be. But you didn't have to create an entirely new category and educate everybody on actually I'm transgender, or actually I'm pansexual, actually I'm genderqueer, actually I'm gender fluid. These are new categories, and that's also why you see the numbers going up. And it's a way to normalize everything other than standard heterosexual relationships. Yeah. I'm not saying that people should be ostracized, but it is abnormal in that it is not the same as what has historically been the mean, the average, since always.
Yeah.
And I certainly don't think that it's a healthy thing for society for it to be a coin toss as to whether a kid is going to be, I didn't want to say heterosexual. A non-LGBT. There are what? How many genders now? We play the game on Mug Club to name that gender flag, and it's not even a joke, and we can't name it.
There's a 2 in it now.
Yes.
They're just coming up with different things. And look, honestly, I mean, kids need guidance. They don't need you to tell them that every single thing that they feel or think is accurate, because it's not. Kids want things that are always going to be bad for them, right? They want food. They want to climb stuff. My son right now wants to climb things that if he falls from, which he will, it will hurt him very badly. As a parent, am I supposed to be like, no, you can totally climb that when he can't? No, of course
Exactly.
not.
You don't let him climb Timmy.
No, well, Timmy, that's true.
More of a mounting.
Yeah, well.
Yes. Gross.
So it just shows you how these numbers change. And so that you don't have to create a whole new category. Also, remember when we were in college? This is the fact that it's hip to be gay right now. So a lot of people want to say, or hip to be LGBTQAIP. And now they get to claim it without the commitment. Right? You should just be, you're like, oh man, I really wish that I could be in that niche, but I still can't get past the wieners. I still can't get past the penis. That's kind of my sticking point. But now you're just like, oh, I'm just gender queer. And it's like, really? You're like, yeah, I can like women or men. Like, what do you like today? Women. The answer's always women. You're like, well, how are you queer? You're like, well, I don't know what happens tomorrow. No one knows what tomorrow brings. Has it ever brought gayness? It hasn't yet, but I'm still queer.
I just want to be cool.
So when we were in college, if a girl said she was bi, it usually meant she was trying to be cool. A guy said he was bi, he was absolutely gay.
100%
Well, yeah,
gay,
because... Yeah, that's just...
He didn't want to admit
If it's like 2 guys and a girl in the middle, it's just gay sex with somebody who knows your secret.
Yes, exactly. And that's why she's got a big mouth. And also, here's the thing: there was an incentive for girls to be. No, I mean you don't want them talking to the.
No,
fuzz.
that's what I.
Yeah,
thought.
you don't know.
Don't need any more Dukes. We don't know Duke lacrosse teams. All right, we get it. This is now I don't know how to dig myself out of this. But the point is this: in college, a girl who said she was bi, like, oh, I kissed a girl and I liked it. People like, oh, maybe it just means she's open-minded. If a guy would say he's gay, most women go.
Well, yeah, because they're not attracted to that.
No.
That's the reality.
Well, they'll go shopping and talk, like long conversations.
Yes, but that's what they would do with a girl. They just like the gay guy because he's not as shit-talky. They're pretty catty.
They're pretty
They're
damn
a catty bunch.
Yeah, they really like being catty.
Oh, they're a woman.
Yes. Well, they're not. That would be transgender.
Well, I know, but
I don't know anymore.
They're feminine.
The point is they're feminine, but they're not transgender.
Well,
they are just gay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with
so confusing.
There's nothing wrong with
so confusing.
There is truly nothing wrong though, and it's always been this way in society. A woman can teach a woman how to be a woman, a girl. A guy can teach a guy how to be a guy. There's nothing wrong with that. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can look up to your father. You can look up to your mother. If something changes in your life and you are somebody who's gay and that happens through puberty and whatever, that's fine. Be who you are.
Yeah.
But there's no reason that this should change during childhood and be forced on kids. The fact that we've had to have this discussion so many times is absurd. And you made a good point yesterday when you said, you know what I didn't know in school? My teacher's first name.
No, I didn't.
And I thought about that because it made a lot of sense because I'm like, yeah, I actually didn't. I didn't know who they were married to. I didn't even know what car they drove because if I did, you would have keyed it.
Yes.
So it's like you didn't know anything about your teacher.
Yeah. Well, I just played the odds and I keyed every Toyota Corolla that was in the parking lot.
Yeah, well, you got to. Well, at our time, it was a Taurus wagon.
Yes, yeah, with the bubble window.
And
like it looks like the Jetsons.
The seats facing out the back, so you got crushed by another car if you were
You could at least see it coming,
So here's the thing: it's not just Huffington Post, and I use that as an example because it's obviously very silly, and Ms. Zyrtek is a horrible writer, so it's fun. Of course, be nice. You can criticize the writing. Don't go over to this person's Twitter and harass them.
No.
I know you guys are all better than that, but it's not just Huffington Post. The satire is no longer satire. There's been a slew of media figures who've been claiming that the parental rights bill in Florida, right? They would say it has nothing to do with indoctrination of children. That actually never happens, just like HuffPo. But here they are saying it.
What message does this send to gay children, their parents? What do you say? I mean, this is your state, Miami.
Look, I'm very upset about this. First, I think it's not a necessary bill.
Of course you are. Is that a necessary third brunch?
First graders are not having a curriculum that teaches sexuality.
I am a parent, a gay parent, and I have 13-year-old twins. And so seeing what's unfolding, we're not talking about sexual orientation, gender identity.
First, to Florida Republicans, you're pretending to solve a problem that doesn't exist. There's not a mass conspiracy of kindergarten teachers who are plotting to teach children to
Where are
be
you
gay.
looking?
This is one big dog whistle. You're scaring people into spewing hate and discrimination at the LGBTQ community.
Even he, a gay guy, he's like LGBTQ.
Is that the baseball that hit him between the eyes that
Yeah, I was
makes him
gonna
look
say.
like that?
Yeah. Sorry, sir, I'm doing my best.
Yeah. So this eye looks at camera 1 and this eye camera 2.
Yeah, exactly.
They're spewing hate.
He just permanently sees 2 red lights. He's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, the demon's staring at me again. Those are just the camera lights. Stop it.
Oh no, I can't legally drive no more.
So here's the thing, if and let's assume that
But she
that's
said
true.
Gay children. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Just that word is the because you just picture like a little kid who's a little off.
Right.
You're like, nice gay child.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would that even be a term?
No. I know.
Anyway, sorry.
Well, this is what they want to be a term.
So
they say transgender youth. You have the president of the former vice president of the United States saying to parents, affirming your child's gender is one of the most important things you can do. Nope. Disagree. And I don't really want to go any further than that. Disagree. Move on. Move on down the trail. That's it. No, I don't think so. Affirming my child's gender, particularly if it is separate from his actual gender.
Right. Yeah.
And by the way, this is because gender and sex are interchangeable now.
They are.
Yeah, they used to say they were separate, but you can't. That argument's no longer tenable if you're allowing biological males to compete with women because they're transgender. Well, now you've just claimed that gender and sex are exactly the same thing because sports are separated by biology, not just sex, weight, age. We have weight classes in sports like wrestling or in weightlifting. Why? Because we separate for biological differences and advantages. We separate for age groups. It's not with what age do I identify? We separate men and women by biological sex. And people say, well, the term is men and the term is women. That's because, again, back in the day, you just go back to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia in 2006, 2007, where the term transgender didn't even exist. Man meant man, woman meant woman. It's this clever little grammar trick that you guys tried to play. But you know what? We're not going to let you. So if teachers really don't inject this sort of thing.
Right. Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist, according to Joy Behar and Anna Navarro.
Right.
I used to be a Republican. Oh, really? Yeah. We
so
didn't hear
annoying.
you the first 19 times.
I know we get it. It's quite an angle.
Yes, it's quite an angle.
You're really working.
Yeah, go for it.
If that's the case, then why are so many teachers are quitting? But why are so many teachers in Florida or across the country so distraught over the bill that doesn't affect them?
Do I lie and not talk about my marriage?
Yep.
Do I pretend I'm single?
No.
Do
People will buy
I
it.
invalidate my spouse's stance as a trans femme person?
How about you teach them?
Or do I put my job on the line to introduce myself?
I think you should
It's
quit.
just like Omaha Beach.
I mean, none of the above?
What am I supposed to do?
I don't know, dress like Owen Wilson?
I don't know.
Being a safe person and a safe place for kids that don't have that at home is one of the best parts of being a teacher.
Wear a shirt that doesn't
I'm
say
not doing
that.
it. I don't know. Fire me, sue me,
Okay.
take me to jail.
Okay,
I'm
bye.
not doing it.
As a preschool teacher, a drag king, and as a member of the LGBTQ
We was Burger
community,
Kings.
how do I feel about the new legislations for like the Don't Say Gay bill or the reporting of transgender kids? And while I don't see things like that too much in preschool, my opinion on it
Ever
is
in preschool was a correct word.
that
Not too
I don't
much.
care what the government tells me to do.
It's all.
I am going
This whole
to
thing
do
is
what
white
I
women
think
from
is
the
best
beginning trying to be a
for the
minority.
health
Does anybody else notice
and
this? That's all it
safety.
is.
And that includes mental health and safety and emotional health and safety of my kids.
Mental health,
I will never let any child
drag
come
king?
through my classroom feeling unloved or ashamed for who they are.
It all, it's very, what you say, almost never in preschool. The answer is never.
Unbelievable.
It does not exist in preschool.
This is
Yeah,
the
this
best.
really sounds like a you problem, bitch.
Yeah.
Narcissist
This is the best sting operation ever. Every single person who comes out in favor of any of this stuff that we've just seen immediately fired from being teachers.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for raising your hand and telling us that you have no place around my kid.
Yeah,
well,
thank
you're
you.
saying take me to jail, though. It's like, what are you
No,
talking
I'm not going
about?
to take you to jail. You just don't have a job anymore. Go do something else.
Do I still have tenure? No. What about the bennies? No.
Nope. Maybe you should just quit. Be a martyr.
But they're in preschool. Why would you teach them anything? It's like
we'll build a statue of you.
It's like, can you color inside the lines? Also, do you want to keep your penis?
All the kids are doing the Thanksgiving turkeys with the hand, and one's
Yeah.
just 5 dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
Johnny,
Wow,
I see you snapped your crayon in half. Do you need to talk about something? Do we need to get rid of an appendage?
No, little Carl. He didn't want to do the hand turkey. He wanted to do the penis turkey. Why? That's not an option.
Yeah, you shouldn't
It's not
allow
on the
that.
menu.
Yeah, you don't allow it. Why? It's called being an adult. You're the adult in the room. They're children. You don't need to fill them in on your personal life.
No.
Period. And this is the thing. They're like, they assume, these teachers, they believe that it is just as important to inform the children on their personal life's activities as it is to, I don't know, math. They think that the two are equivalent in their job as a teacher. That's why I will say this. There are good teachers out there.
Yes.
They are few and far between. Most of them are this right now. And if you look at the voting records and you look at where the teachers' unions give their money, it is a racket. Do not send your kids to public schools. If you send your kids to public schools, and more importantly, here's something that's really scary. When you look at the projections where they say, hey, it'll be a 50-50 shot if they're LGBTQAIP, I don't give a shit about the acronym, but they say it's a 50-50 shot, in 20 years from now. Yeah. Well, here's another interesting statistic. It's mostly religious people, mostly conservative people who are having kids. How is that happening? Parents, start doing your job. You think, well, we go to church on Sunday. Guess what? Those people you just saw have them the other 5 days of the week for 8 hours.
Well,
an hour and a half at church isn't going to override that.
It's also not conservatives that just, pass a law in Colorado that you can hack a baby apart like it's ancient Rome.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Good point.
I mean, it's sadly true.
No, it's sadly true. Way to be a downer, Dave.
Well, I'm sorry. 9 months as a human being.
Yeah,
I don't know how else you want to look at that.
Of course. Well, you know what? Hey.
We're 3 months away right now. I can feel I could feel it before. I can feel everything.
By the way, your wife wanted me to tell you, stop feeling her stomach.
Well, no, she likes it.
Not while she's sleeping.
Oh, well, that's...
No.
I didn't
So,
especially when you let us in to do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, can you feel it kick?
And
I'm
if you do let us in, get a quieter camera. We don't need a vintage Polaroid.
No, that's true.
Turn off the flash.
Okay, all right, that's
It
a
doesn't
compromise.
work.
See, this is why we're all still friends. We can find a compromise. So here's the thing, and don't worry to the leftists because we know there's a good amount of leftists who watch this show. There really are. There are actually a good amount of classical liberals who watch. As far as leftist progressives, probably none. If the super bigoted, Florida teachers don't want to, I don't know. Look, the point is, there's always New York. They're the beacon of progress.
And we're partnering with WPPP. To put up billboards in major markets across Florida to let everyone know.
Can you show the
we're
billboard?
Targeting Fort Lauderdale, Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, and West Palm Beach. We believe we're going to get about 5 million impressions, and they're going to be up for an 8-week period celebrating the diversity and acceptance of New York City. We will show this in the billboards, you have here right now. Very clear statement, and we're proud of it. Other folks want people to hide their
really
color.
well with the,
we like to show
ISIS
our color,
members running
and
the
that's
halal shop on
rainbow
36th Street.
as representative of this community. We want to remind everyone that New York City is full of people who will be celebrated now and in the future.
And by the way, clearly he's in line with the mainstream Black Americans' opinion.
Yes.
Ain't but two genders.
Yep.
Preach. Let him go.
There wasn't even a pause from the audience.
No, they were just like, yes.
Yes,
of course.
sir.
Like, why are you always coming up with this funny shit?
Is that... What was the billboard?
Yeah, can we bring up the billboard again?
Yeah,
I just wanted to read it.
Yeah.
Come to the city where you
where you can say whatever
you want. So instead of increasing police funding so Asians don't get killed in the subway, New York City is using their tax dollars for the... Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Absolutely
makes sense.
Perfect sense. Yeah, make sure you put those up around the country. Use all of your money, New York, for this. Make sure this is the hill you die on.
Say whatever you want, like, there's an Asian, push him in front of the subway.
Yeah, exactly. The only way he can stop you is he's like, oh, wait, gay. Like,
hey.
Oh,
No,
careful.
sorry,
this
my
guy's
bad.
got Oreos.
I thought you were just Asian. My bad.
Where you can say whatever you want. By the way, you can also piss wherever you want in New York. So you know what?
true.
They're pretty open about the locale rules.
No, that's what I loved about walking around New York was throwing away my shoes every day.
Yes, exactly. If only you could throw away your nostrils.
That's actually true.
This is one of those this is one of those issues where, okay, and we've had on the show, I think it was I believe it was Jesse Herbst was the first transgender mayor of a town in Texas. We had obviously we've had Blair White on the show many times. We've had at least 4 or 5 transgender individuals on the show, and of course people who advocated for the modern sort of gender theory on the show. Over 10, got to be a dozen. You guys can go through the archives, going all the way back to probably 2014. And they used to say it was a straw man. They used to say, well, no one's talking about children. We're talking about consenting adults. And now it's assumed by the former vice president of the United States that children can be transgender. So now it's assumed that they can be transgender. Again, they can make decisions that permanently affect their sex lives before they have the ability to consent to any sexual activity that is now assumed as a baseline. And now they're saying, well, don't be absurd. No teachers want to teach your kids about that. You want my kid to already be able to get gender reassignment surgery. I think we're past that. What, you think that I'm somehow fearing the more extreme and that the transgender professor who has pushed for laws, the transgender public school teacher who has pushed for laws that may have my children taken away from me if I don't put them on puberty blockers, you think that I'm being insanely paranoid in believing that that teacher may want to indoctrinate my child? You can no longer make this claim. The left no longer gets to make any of the LGBTQ AAIP. It used to be, the Westboro Baptist Church, and there are 4 members for crying out loud. They used to try and paint the entire conservative right. Let's take the most radical position of the conservative right. The same position that Barack Obama held, the same position that every single president held outside of Donald Trump coming into office, just to be clear, where they thought marriage is between a man and a woman. You may disagree with it, but that was the extreme position. Marriage is between a man and a woman, and most of these people, most of these Republicans at this point in time, said, of course, they can have civil union and property sharing and, for example, writing someone into a will and hospital visitations, but the definition of marriage is a man and a woman. That was seen as radically hateful. But today, the mainstream view of the left, as just espoused by the former Vice President Biden of the United States, is children can affirm whatever gender they want. And, by the way, they can't answer a follow-up question, okay, how many genders are there? They couldn't possibly answer that question because, my God, they may be forced to run for a Supreme Court seat sometime in the future, and that's a political liability. So if anyone else at YouTube, I don't care if you don't like this. This isn't denying anybody's existence. This is acknowledging the reality of statistics as well as medical outcomes. And it's something that with which we need to be very prudent. Leave a comment, hit the like button, because we're about to do Reddit review, and there is no way. Absolutely no way we would do this on YouTube. So YouTube, piss off.